Yeah, we used to always say, think, shoot, but work. Going back to Antonio Cesaro, I think he's a good kid. I like what he does in the ring. I think when they brought him into the company, they handed him an anvil. It's like, now go get over carrying this anvil. I don't think they did him any favors, with that initial gimmick.
Right.
Sometimes, and I heard, great things about, Sandow.
Damien Sandow.
Love the name, highly touted kid. And
another great guy.
I started watching the show, and I didn't like the creative that they had put behind that guy, and it's like, handed him an anvil. So many of these guys, they got some good talent. They got a lot of talent in that organization, very thick. Now, a lot of guys are young and green. That goes with the territory you got to learn. But some of the creative process hasn't been so stellar.
And I think with Damien Sandow, the gimmick at first people thought, ooh, this is Lanny Poffo. Right. He's too Lanny Poffo-esque and the pastel colored trunks and all that. I think he's good enough to overcome it. I mean, I really am a fan of. He's got great size. He's progressed a lot in the ring already. And I know from talking to people out at the developmental center, he asks all the right questions. He's a student of the game. And I'm fascinated, and I don't always have the right answer on these things, but people ask all the time, why didn't Shelton Benjamin, get over? We just got asked the other day. We were on a feature on pwtorch.com where people send in questions every day, and we answer them every day. And it's educational for me to know what fans are wondering about. And one of the things we get the most often is, why didn't this guy make it? I thought he had what it took.
Right.
And it helps me then, if I don't know, I go and try to get on the phone lines, send out some text messages and emails and ask ex-creative guys and wrestlers, why didn't this guy make it? And it is, with Damien Sandow, he does everything right. There's for every guy who got a push and then got it taken away, there's a story. And with Damien Sandow, he doesn't have that story yet. He hasn't disqualified himself from getting from getting the push that he deserves. So I think, even though you're right, it's not in the Ringmaster wasn't as bad as Damien Sandow's gimmick, but it also was an anvil, and you're right about that in the book. It's like the green trunks to match the money, and they wanted you to wear a singlet, and the idea that you needed Ted DiBiase to talk for you, and I was just like, they don't always get it right at the beginning, but if you carry yourself the right way and you show determination, I think, like, the number one advice that I think it makes sense for wrestlers right now is carry yourself like you are hungry and determined to become number one, but you're humble enough to know that you have a lot to learn, and you have to be smart enough to recognize when it's time to offer ideas and ask questions and when it's not.